So, it's about time, and a few people might be joining, but it's 2 o'clock, more or less, so let's get started. I'm pretty sure everybody who's here knows me, but my name is Blithe, and welcome everybody to my Spring Harp Recital. Today I'm going to be playing a mix of classical and Celtic songs, but before we started I wanted to give you a little bit of context about me, my music, and my instrument. So I started playing when I was about 5 years old, and since then I've had a pretty unorthodox training in that I have been instructed in both classical and Celtic harp. So that opportunity has been wonderful for me, and I love both styles of music, and they're different in a few ways. So I'm just going to point out a few of the major differences to you. Classical music tends to be more structured than Celtic music, and that the dynamics tend to be fairly strictly assigned. There's stricter fingering, and Celtic music is more freeform. Celtic music historically has been passed down by ear, so a lot of the time when Celtic students were being instructed, they were instructed by voice and ear alone, and classical students historically have learned their music through written sheet music. And then finally, classical music is written in keys, and Celtic music is written in modes. So most of you have probably heard people talk about the key of C, the key of G. Musicians will kind of talk about the different keys they're playing in when they're getting together to do a gig. And Celtic music, the musicians will talk about A Dorian or D Aeolian, or modes such as those ones. So the instruments themselves are also a little bit different. You might notice if you're watching an orchestra, the harps tend to be a lot bigger than mine is. So Celtic harps change naturals, sharps, and flats with these levers. So if I play F natural and then I put the lever up, it turns into a F sharp. And if I was playing a classical harp, I would use pedals, which are located on the base of the harp, and they look sort of like piano pedals. If you've seen the little kind of foot pedals that you press to change the dynamics when you're playing piano. So anyway, there's a little bit of context for you guys. And the first songs I'm going to be playing for you are 2 of my favorite Celtic songs, called Isabella Burke and John Drury by Turlough O'Carolan. Turlough O'Carolan was a composer and a harper who lived around the time of the Renaissance. He made his living by traveling around the country on his horse and playing his music for the wealthy. What's remarkable about Carolan's story is that he was blind. A lot of music from that time has been lost because, as I said, Celtic music was taught by ear. But many of Carolan's songs were transcribed and written down, and because of that, we now have access to over 100 of his pieces, which is amazing because his music is gorgeous. So we are super fortunate to have his music with us today. Both Isabella Burke and John Drury were written for and named after 2 of the wealthy people before mentioned that Carolan played his harp for. So here is Isabella Burke and John Drury by Turlough O'Carolan. So as we get further into the recital, you'll notice I've paired up a lot of the songs I'm playing. And these two aren't the smoothest fitting together, but I wanted to play them together because of the stories I can see when I play them. In rustic dance, I can see people in the wealthier part of town getting together for a ball, maybe dancing to a waltz, while possibly in the same town, there's a farmer in the poorer districts who's out haying his fields and looking forward to some homemade gooseberry pie. So here is Rustic Dance by F.J. Hayden and The Happy Farmer by R. Showman. This next song is called The Wexford Carol. It's more Celtic music, and I actually played this one for this year's Christmas recital, but I really love it, and I wanted to incorporate it in my spring recital. So for those of you who've already heard it, bear with me. This song is so old, dating back to the 12th century, that its original composer is unknown, and I found the Wexford Carol while I was looking for a song, as I said before, to play at the Christmas recital. I really loved the Wexford Carol because I got to sing with it. The tune is gorgeous, and there was a Gaelic version available to me. So Gaelic is a Celtic language, and I've used it in a few songs before. So I was really excited to find a version available to me for the Wexford Carol and to incorporate it in my arrangement of this song. And then you'll notice I put a little jig in there, and that was just to have some fun. So here's the Wexford Carol. Christmas time, consider well and bear in mind what our good God for us has done in sending His beloved Son. With Mary holy we should pray to God with love this Christmas day. In Bethlehem, upon that morn, there was a blessed Messiah born. Near Bethlehem did shepherds keep their flocks of lambs and feeding sheep. To them an angel did appear, which put the shepherds in great fear. Prepare and go, the angel said, to Bethlehem. Be not afraid, for there you'll find this happy morn, a princely babe, sweet Jesus born. With grateful hearts and joyous minds, the shepherds went this babe to find. And as the angels had foretold, they did our Savior Christ behold. Within a manger He was laid, and by His side the Virgin Maid, attending on the Lord of Light, who came on earth to end all strife. Okay, so from there, we're going to go to one of the songs that I've left as a standalone. And this song is called Short Story by H. Leichner. And I particularly like this one for this recital because when I play, it kind of reminds me of springtime and the snow melting and animals coming out of hibernation. It's just super happy and upbeat. So here is the aptly named short story. To one of my very favorites of all time to play on the harp, called Wild Mountain Thyme. And this song is one of the first songs I ever learned to play and sing on the harp at the same time. And my teacher Dominique and I would play this and harmonize while she was teaching it to me. So it holds a special place in my heart, and I hope you enjoy it. Oh, the summer times are coming, and the trees are sweetly blooming, and the wild mountain thyme grows around the blooming heather. Will you go as he goes? And we'll all go together to pull wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will you go as he goes? I will build my love a bower by yon clear crystal fountain, and on it I will pile all the flowers of the mountain. Will you go as he goes? And we'll all go together to pull wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will you go as he goes? If my true love he were truly gone, I would surely find another where the wild mountain thyme grows around the blooming heather. Will you go as he So these next two songs are called Allegro by F.J. Hayden and Petite Etude by Van Vechten Rogers. So these two songs are fast and loud. In their names, there's somewhat of their sound. Allegro in music speak means quickly or fast, and I've been told by my current instructor that harpists, classical harpists, like to joke that Petite Etude is the song to use if you need to wake up an audience. So here is Allegro and Petite Etude. These next two songs are called Eleanor Plunkett and Le Tetailleurs. And I really like how these two pair because it's really seamless. And Eleanor Plunkett is actually another one of Carolyn, Turlo Carolyn's songs. And one of the first songs I ever learned to play, specifically to play at the Carolyn Festival, which is an annual event that takes place in Vermont, where musicians get together and celebrate Carolyn's life by playing his music. So, La Tête Ailleurs is a really pretty kind of Celtic folk song almost. I really love kind of the medieval feel it has to it. So, I hope you enjoy. And here is Eleanor Plunkett and La Tête Ailleurs. we're kind of moving out of the key of G. We're going to, well, I'm going to be playing for you one of my originals called Truest Friend. And originally I wasn't going to incorporate it in this recital, but my teacher, Mallory, asked me to because it's the first song I wrote on the harp that I sung and played, and I recently won an award for it in the annual Reflections contest, which takes place in Utah, and it's a contest where students can submit a creative work, whether it be photography, a poem, a dance, a piece of art, a musical composition. So it's a really cool event, and I entered this song into it, and Truest Friend was one of the winners. So here's Truest Friend, composed by me. Woke up this morning and looked at the rising sun, watched as the stars faded one by one, listened to birds singing morning songs, and you and I sang along. You and I sang along, as you and I see each other through until the very end. To the end of my days you'll remain the light of my life, 'cause you're my truest friend. Walk through the woods, hand in hand. We'll stay side by side over water and land. The story we write tells the tale of two nights, loyal, true, and bold, with hearts made of gold. 'Cause you and I see each other through until the very end. To the end of my days you'll remain the light of my life, 'cause you're my truest friend. To the end of my days you'll remain the light of my life, 'cause you're my truest friend. Yeah, you're my truest friend.
Fantastic job.
Thank you. So as we're finishing up in the key of G, we're going to play another classical one, and I'm doing the minuets and seguidilla back to back because seguidilla is not like the other classical songs I've played thus far. Seguidilla is written by a man named Carlos Salcedo, who was hugely influential in classical harp music. He turned harp into a virtuoso instrument, which essentially means where harp had been seen as a very soft, quiet instrument previously, he turned it into a loud, exciting, fast kind of tool for music. So here is Seguidilla by Carlos Salcedo, And one second, I have one string that doesn't change keys super well, so I'm just gonna retune the string really quick. Okay. Seguidilla by Carlos Salcedo. Okay, so the final song in this recital is another one of my originals called Battle of Stones River. And as with most of my other songs, I had no particular reason for writing it, but I was just kind of in that mood, and Battle of Stones River is what came out of that. So, when I started writing it, before I named it, it was when it was starting to form, I started doing research because it had, to me, I could visualize kind of troops marching while I was playing it. So I did some research, and I found in my research an event called Battle of Stones River, which took place during the Civil War on the banks of Stones River in Tennessee, I believe. So here is Battle of Stones River. much, everybody, for coming. Anybody who needs to go, you're welcome to do that. Does anybody have any questions for me about my music or my instrument?
Do you have a question?
Yeah, just any questions.
Yes, we do. Can I hire you for a party?
I mean, I guess.
Okay, I'm just picturing our next
Renaissance party.
Yeah, our next Renaissance party.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna hire you. I love you.
Well,
Is that
I look
it?
forward to that.
Yeah.
Can we unmute so we can
What's
say
your
good job?
question?
I don't know.
Do you have a question?
Joey wants to know if you can plug in your harp to an amp and add distortion to do some rock and roll harp.
So I haven't really experimented with distorting it much, but the harp did come with a sound system, which was super great. So I can plug it in, but yeah, I haven't really experimented that much. But theoretically, yeah, I could do that.
And I better, Blithe, I don't know if you spoke to this, but is it your thing that you're pairing two songs together, or is that something you...
So, sorry, you cut
Is
out a
the
little
harpist,
bit.
was that your...
So, you're cutting out a little bit, but yeah, the songs that I did pair weren't originally paired. I just wanted to play them together. A few of them I kind of explained the reasons. So yeah, some of the songs just sounded great together, and some of the songs either were just in the same key or just seemed to fit really nicely. So.
Blithe.
Mhm.
When you were like, I think you said, was it 5 when you started?
Yeah, I was 5.
Yeah. What got you into harp?
So, the first time I realized I wanted to play harp, we were at a farmer's market in Vermont, and there was a woman who was playing the harp, and I pointed at it and I asked my mom, "Mom, what is that?" And she said, "Well, that's a harp." So that woman ended up becoming my first teacher, Regina Christensen. And she is an amazing woman. She and her husband, Stephen, play the harp. Well, he doesn't play the harp, but she plays the harp. He plays his guitar, and they create wonderful things together. So that's really what got me into it the first time. And Regina, when I went to my first lesson, I went in and we didn't really know what to expect, but something I always remember about her is that she ended up teaching me both harp and piano, and we hadn't really expected that at first, but it was just amazing to have an experience where the teacher kind of let the student guide for that first part of my training.
Question?
Cool, thank you.
Blythe, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
First of all, so beautiful.
Thanks.
I love that. I love those. Well, I love one in particular, but I can't remember the name. But so with most concerts, the people cheer and then the artist does an encore. Did we get an encore today?
Oh,
What about some do you ever freestyle?
No, I
Just
can play it on harp.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Only if you want to. I haven't seen that. Do you ever freestyle on the harp? Like, can you just kind of jam?
Yeah, so I've had a song request from my live audience here, so if you would like
Perfect.
an encore, then yeah. This song is called City of Stars, and I just recently kind of taught myself how to do it, and it's from La La Land.
Woohoo! Yay!
Let's see, this string still needs a little bit of tuning. There we go. Let's see, should run key there. much that I can see. Who knows? Is this the start of something new and wonderful? Or is it just another dream I cannot make true? City of stars, are you shining just for me? City of stars, there's so much that I can see. Who knows? I felt it from the first embrace I shared with you. That now our dreams may finally come true. City of stars, just one thing everybody wants. Out in the bars and through the smokescreen of the crowded restaurants. It's a love. Yes, all we're looking for is love from someone else. A touch, a glance, a look, a dance, a look in somebody's eyes, to light up the skies, to open the world and send it breathing. A voice that says I'll be here and you'll be alright. I don't care if I know just where I will go, 'cause all that I need is this crazy feeling. A rat-tat-tat in my heart, think I want it to stay. City of stars, are you shining just for me? City of stars.